What's good, everyone? Of course, it's your boy, the host with the most, everyone's favorite ghetto clown named Doug, and I'm bringing you guys another Yu-Gi-Oh video today. I know it's been a minute since I've last done anything Yu-Gi-Oh related, being the stream that I did with Jay Kusanagi, which you guys can check out, even though it was kind of, you know, shot from the hip, and my Gold Sarcophagus 2019 Mega 10 unboxing. Today I'm going to take the time to actually go over my Magician Turbo deck. This is the first deck that I've built in years, coming back to the game, and it has about up to 50 something cards in there, so it's a little bit bigger than the normal 40 cards that someone would use. This video is going to be pretty long because of the breakdown and how thorough I am with every card in my deck, so you know, I'm giving you guys fair warning. If there's too many cards in my deck, or you guys feel like I should make a side deck, add certain cards, please leave comments down below. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alright, so here we are. My dual mat that I'm going to be using from Dual Powers. This is a pretty interesting mat because this was for the 20th anniversary of the game, but also used to showcase all the aces that every main character had in the anime. I'm going to break this deck down into 3 different categories. The first one being my monster cards from the highest level to the lowest that are a part of the deck. The second one being my magic and trap cards. Now that might be a little bit more thorough. And then my third one is gonna be the extra deck. So without further ado, I'm gonna start bringing cards out in pairs, and there's gonna be a reason why I'm doing that too. Let's just get started. So the first pair I'm bringing out are Sorcerer of Dark Magic and Blackluster Soldier Envoy the Beginning. The reason why I'm bringing them out is because they have interesting summoning conditions. Sorcerer of Dark Magic, in order for you to actually summon him to the field, you need to sacrifice 2 level 6 spellcasters. Blackluster Soldier Envoy the Beginning, you need to just banish 1 light monster, 1 dark monster from your graveyard, and bam, they're on the field. And Sorcerer of Dark Magic has an interesting effect. He can negate the activation of any trap card on the field and destroy it. So for him, it's a risk versus reward type deal. The reason why I say that is because you're risking giving up 2 of your high level spellcasters to bring him out of the field, and with him having 32 attack points, he's a powerhouse, but it's one of those things you have to be careful with. Blackluster Soldier Envoy the Beginning, he has 2 effects. One you can activate, but you give up attacking with him, and that effect is banishing 1 monster field from your opponent's 1 monster card from your opponent's side of the field. The second one being he destroys, every time he destroys a monster card, he gets to attack again. So he's really good for having an attack power of 3,000 and defense 2,500. So, you know, it's good to have these 2 in the deck. Of course, next is going to be Dark Magician of Chaos. A while back he was banned, but they re-released him and they improved on his effect. His one effect is when he's normal summon or special summon, at the end phase you can take 1 spell card that was in your graveyard and bring it back into your hand. Once per turn, when he attacks a monster, he can destroy it, or excuse me, he can banish it. But he's also pretty risky too, because the moment he's destroyed, he's banished from the game. So it's all about how you use him, when you bring him out, and what you need to do for your next couple of moves, because the moment he's gone from the game, he's gone. So the next pair that I'm gonna be talking about are Magician of Chaos and Magician of Black Chaos Max. These two are pretty interesting, especially since Magician of Chaos was a part of Dual Power, and this one, Magician of Black Chaos Max, you saw me review in my first unboxing. To go over their effects, Magician of Chaos, when he's brought to the field, he becomes Dark Magician. When a spell or trap is activated, I can target one card and destroy it. And when he's destroyed, I can bring out any max card or any chaos card or Black Luster ritual monster except for him. Automatically special summon from my hand without any ignoring their the requirements for summoning them. Magician of Black Chaos Max has an interesting effect. Tribute one monster, your opponent can't activate an effect, and when it's destroyed, once per turn I can add a spell from my graveyard to my hand. So these cards, they'll definitely come in handy, especially if you have one in the deck after, one in the hand after you summon this one, and you need to bring out a monster to kind of back you up in the event that Magician of Chaos gets destroyed. So, and if you need to stop any effect monsters, you can do that by sacrificing a monster on the field. So, it's worth the buy. I would recommend it. So, next, of course, we have the infamous Buster Blader with the attack of 2600, hitting his normal effect, going up against dragons, gains 500 attack points for every dragon on the field and in both graveyards. Pretty good powerhouse. He's also good as far as fusion goes too, so something for you to maybe consider if you ever decide you want to fuse right on the spot if you have the materials for it. Next pair I'm going to talk about is Palladium Oracle Mahad and Dark Magician. Reason why I'm putting this pair together is because in the anime, Mahad sacrificed himself to become Dark Magician. His effect is amazing because the moment you draw him, you automatically get to summon him on the field. If you fight against dark monsters, his attack power doubles. And when he's destroyed, you get to bring out this guy, the Dark Magician. So right then and there, you get a free Dark Magician from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So, or even if you have Magician of Chaos, because he's in the graveyard, bam, you're good to go. Something to always kind of have in your back pocket, especially when you have those moments where you just need to draw, and you just happen to draw like that Heart of the Cards type deal. Alright, next pair is going to be pretty interesting. The new Palladium Oracle Mana and Dark Magician Girl. Mana, just like Mahad, sacrifices their being to become a Dark Magician Girl. She can be special summoned from the hand or the graveyard if spellcaster monsters are targeted by effects, card or effects, and she protects level 7 or higher spellcasters. When she's destroyed, she gets to bring out this lovely lady, Dark Magician Girl. Dark Magician Girl, for every Dark Magician in the graveyard, she gains an additional 300 attack points. So if you got 3 Dark Magicians in your deck, bam, right then and there. 3 apiece, that's 900. Plus whatever you decide to use as far as spell cards, traps, for the power boost. She's my ace, and I really depend on her a lot more despite the support for Dark Magician, and I'm going to get into that a little bit later. Alright, let's see who's next. The Apprentice Illusion Magician. Now, a lot of people would think she would be the perfect answer for being Dark Magician Girl, but she supports Dark Magician a little bit more, and I'm gonna go into it. For one, she has an amazing effect. She can, by discarding one card from your hand, automatic special summon. And if Dark Magician, and the moment she's special summon, you can add one Dark Magician from the deck to your hand. So it makes Dark Magician easily searchable. During the battle phase, I can send her from the field to the graveyard and boost any spellcaster monster that I have with additional 2,000 attack points and defense points. So, you know, she's good to have as far as power-ups, searching, and I would recommend if in case you're trying to get those quick sacrifices right then and there. Let's see, next we have, of course, the Tricky, another card that can be used for quick sacrifices. His effect, you know, discard one card, automatically brings them out on the field. Pretty good for a powerhouse type of monster for him being level 5 with 2,000 attack points. If your opponent doesn't have any monsters on the field, you can deal massive damage to kind of put you ahead of the game. Next, you're gonna need 2 of these. Magician's Valkyria. So when she's on the field, the opponent can't select another spellcaster monster that I control as an attack target. So in order for you to do any damage to any of my spellcasters, regardless of the level, you gotta attack at least her. And with 2 of these in the deck, it's always good to have that protection. Next, we need, well, I'm gonna go ahead and go over these 2. The Skill White Magician and the Skill Dark Magician. So they all have the same effect, but they bring out different monsters. Skill Dark Magician, for every spell counter it gets, every spell that you use, it gets a spell counter, along with Skill White Magician. If you get 3 for either or, you can bring Dark Magician from the hand, from the hand, deck, or graveyard. For Skill White Magician, automatically summons Buster Blader. So if you need those 2 monsters, this is one way to bring them out right on the spot. Unfortunately, I only have 1 Skill White Magician, and I think that's fine because I'm not going to be depending on Buster Blader as much. So next we have, of course, Breaker, the Magical Warrior. Automatically, the moment he's summoned on the field, gains 300 attack points because he also has a spell counter on him. And with that spell counter, you can destroy a spell or trap card on your opponent's side of the field. It's pretty resourceful, especially when you're dealing with nasty trap cards that are continuous. So, good to have. EMT, or Electromagnetic Turtle. With 0 attack points, it makes up in defense. His effect is, while he's in the graveyard during the battle step, you can banish it, and it'll end your opponent's battle step, sending them to their end phase. So if you need that time to stall, here's a good example. We got this trio right here: Berry, Lemon, and Apple. The reason why I'm putting these 3 together is because this is one of the biggest supports for my trump card. So with Berry, and when she's normal summon, you get to add 1 Magician from the deck to the hand. If it's attack, it goes from attack to defense, and then when it goes into defense like that, I get to summon 1 Magician Girl from my deck. Lemon, I contribute 1 Magician Girl to add a spellcaster from my deck to my hand. And if she's attacked, I get to special summon that spellcaster and half my opponent's attack points. And with Apple, if she's attacked, I get to summon one level 5 or lower spellcaster and half the opponent's attack points, and if she's destroyed, I get 3 Magician Girls from my graveyard back into my hand. So this is clearly a good way to support Dark Magician Girl or any of the spellcasters in general. I use this more towards my Dark Magician Girl for the fact that she might go up against high level monsters, and if you have Apple on the field and then Lemon on the field, and you know you're cutting those monsters' attack points down bit by bit, making it easier for Dark Magician Girl to attack. So this is a pretty good combination to have of these 3 cards in the deck. Then of course, last but not least, the Kiribos. Clear Kiribo. With his effect, you can discard him to negate monster effects attacking the life points, and you can banish him and draw one card. If that card's a monster, you automatically special summon it onto the field. Kiriborn, he discards, discard him at the end of the battle phase so that you can special summon the monster that was destroyed that was destroyed during battle, and you can banish him and special summon as many Kiribos from your graveyard onto the field. So these, you can't go wrong with having a Kiribo in your deck. At least 2 different types. I would highly recommend this. Something for you to check out if you ever need a Kiribo, and yeah, we'll go for that. So next we have the spell and trap cards. Originally they used to be called magic cards, but due to a lawsuit from Magic the Gathering over trademark, they had to change the name to spell cards. So I'm gonna do the same way that I did the monster cards, as far as like grouping them together with certain effects and breaking it down. So let's go ahead and get started. First we got Sage's Stone. This is a good card in the event that you need to pull Dark Magician from your hand or your deck. As long as you have Dark Magician Girl on your field, you get a quick special summon right from the hand or the deck. It sucks that it's not pointed towards the graveyard, but then again, that would probably make the card broken. Really good to have, especially in the event that you need Dark Magician out in the field. So Bond Between Student is the next card. This is a really good card, at least in my own personal opinion, because of the fact that you got Dark Magician on the field. Boom, get Dark Magician Girl from the hand, deck, or graveyard. And at any point, you can also pull Dark Magic Twin Burst, Dark Burning Attack, Dark Burning Magic, and Dark Dark Magic Attack. So these are the 4 cards that you can pull within each one, and I'm gonna break down each card as well. So Dark Magic Attack focuses on if in the event that you have Dark Magician on the field. He destroys all your opponent's trap cards. Dark Magic Twin Burst. Target 1 Dark Magician you control. It gains attack points equal to the contributed attack of Dark Magician Girl currently on the field and in the graveyard, and until the end of the turn. Of course, you can only activate 1 of those at a time, so this is a good power boost for Dark Magician until the end phase. Dark Burning Attack. With Dark Magician Girl, take out all the monsters. And then of course, Dark Burning Magic, that focuses on everything on the field that your opponent controls. Monster and trap cards. So if you need to clean a field, this is one way to do it. Unfortunately, you're limited to only using, because of the limit of Bond Between Student, you can only pick 1 of these 4 cards. But I'm not saying they're not, it's not a bad thing, but there's a possibility that either one card, you might need one more than the other, or you might need all of these at once when you get the chance. But it's all about strategy and how quick you can get these cards out right then and there. So this is a good card, especially when it comes to searching other spell cards. My bad, Force of Habit. Then of course you got Dark Magic Inheritance. Pretty much you banish 2 spell cards from the graveyard, add 1 spell or trap from your deck to your hand. That specifically focuses on Dark Magician Girl. You know, again, another searchable card for certain spell or trap cards that'll boost or help your Dark Magician Girl in any way, shape, or form. And then of course, this is one of my favorite cards right here, Dark Magic Expanded. Now the best part about Dark Magic Expanded is that pretty much you can use it as, it's a quick play, and it focuses on the number of Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girls on the field or in the graveyard. One Dark Spellcaster gains 1,000 attack points until the end of the turn. Your opponent can't activate cards and effects in response to your spell or trap card or effect activations. Also, spell or traps you control can't be destroyed by opponent's effect cards, and the Dark Spellcaster monsters that you control aren't affected by your opponent's card effects until the end of the turn. So with this card, you know, pretty boosting of attack power, but also gives protection. So this is something that you know you can really depend on. Next, of course, we have Magic Formula. With this card, as long as you have Dark Magician Girl on the field, you gain 700 attack points. But the moment this card's for whichever card you have it equipped to. But whatever sorry about that. But whatever happens to this, if this card gets sent to the graveyard, you get a total of 1,000 life points for a game. So not only does it cover as an attack boost, but it doubles down as a way of gaining life points, especially if you're in some sort of struggle of some sort. Next, of course, Swords of Revealing Light. It stops your opponent from attacking you for 3 turns. So if you need to buy some time, get cards that you need right then and there, this is the card to kind of help you out. Of course, Chaos Form. This is a ritual card, believe it or not. This is one of those cards that you can use to bring out a certain Chaos monster, Lackluster Soldier monster, based on the number of stars that they have. Or you can banish Dark Magician from your graveyard. But it's also one of those cards to where, okay, you need to be really cautious. It's like, how badly do you need Magician of Chaos or Magician of Black Chaos Max? Like, are you planning on banishing your Dark Magician, or you think you feel confident enough to pull it off from your hand or your deck? You know, some things to think about. And then of course, Thousand Knives. This is an easy way to clear the field, especially getting rid of those high level monsters that you're up against. Once if you have Dark Magician on the field, this automatically destroys one targeted monster that you plan on using it. Oh. And then let's also, since we're in the topic of this, let's also talk about Magical Dimension. So if you control a face-up spellcaster monster, you can target one monster that you control, tribute it, then special summon a spellcaster from your hand, and then destroy the other monster. on your opponent's side of the field. So it's good to have, especially if you're trying to need a quick sacrifice right then and there. So that way you can either tribute summon or, you know, normal summon when you got to. Dedication through light and darkness, quick way to bring D-Mock out if he's in your graveyard, your hand, or your deck. This card lets you pretty much tribute Dark Magician to bring out Dark Magician to Chaos. The reason why it says graveyard is because, you know, there's D-Mock can always end up in the graveyard. So through tribute or other means. Just because he's banished once he's destroyed doesn't mean he's gone from the game, but you also got to be careful with bringing out D-Mock, like what I explained earlier. Then of course we have your another form of quick summoning. Ancient Rules, Monster Reborn, Dark Magic Veil. Dark Magic Veil pretty much is like a Monster Reborn, but for spellcasters. The only difference is you sacrifice 1,000 life points. Monster Reborn, freebie, that's pretty much self-explanatory. And then Ancient Rules, if you have a level 5 or higher monster in your hand, you can summon it, special summon it right on the field. So if you ever need that quick summon, it's right there. Next we also have How to Greed. Plain and simple, self-explanatory, draw 2 cards. This card is, I believe, is still banned, but I still use it because I'm not playing competitively and I'm just having fun, especially with this deck. Then of course you have your fusion spell cards, Polymerization, and the Eye of Timaeus. Polymerization, you know, lets you fuse 2 cards to pull your monster from the extra deck. Eye of Timaeus focuses mainly on fusing with Dark Magician, Dark Magician Girl. So you don't need polymerization right on the spot. Now the trap cards. So Magician Circle. Whenever a spellcaster monster declares an attack, each player can summon a monster, a spellcaster monster that has 2,000 or less attack points from their deck. So again, quick way to get certain spellcasters out, or even just Dark Magician Girl if you need her or you haven't drawn her out yet. Then we got Eternal Soul. So there's something funny in regards to this. Every time this card is brought out, everyone references the Soul Glow commercial, which I'm gonna put right here. But anyways, it's a really good card for a continuous card, especially for Dark Magician. So pretty much Dark Magician in my monster zone is unaffected by the opponent's card effects, and if this card is destroyed, that pretty much gets rid of Dark Magician and the monsters on the field. I get 2 effects with this card too. I can special summon 1 Dark Magician from my hand or graveyard, and then I can also put 1 Dark Magic attack or 1,000 Knives in my hand. So that makes finding the cards that I need for my spell really easily, especially since they're Dark Magician type cards. Then of course Magic Cylinders, a quick way to, you know, it's U-turn type deal. When your opponent attacks you, you can send that attack straight to their life points. So one way to protect yourself and, you know, take care of business. So Next I got Magician's Navigation and Dark Renewal. The reason why I pull these cards out is because of the fact that they focus on bringing back or summoning spellcasters. So with Magician's Navigation, special summon one Dark Magician from your hand, then special summon a level 7 or lower Dark Spellcaster monster from your deck. If you control Dark Magician, except when this card was summoned, except when this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card and then target one face-up spell or trap card your opponent controls, has its effects negated till the end of the turn. So you got that type of card where it'll not only summon but also negate a trap effect. And then Dark Renewal, pretty much something you can use as far as if your opponent is in the process of trying to summon or special summon a monster. You can target that monster and one spellcaster type that you control, and then pretty much send both those monsters to the graveyard so that I can special summon a spellcaster from my deck or the graveyard. So think of it as a trap magical dimension. Then of course, for protection purposes, Mirror Force, Magician's Defense, and Black Illusion. Mirror Force, plain and simple, whenever an opponent declares an attack, it pretty much destroys all the monsters that they have facing an attack position. Black Illusion focuses more on protecting spellcasters that have 2,000 attack points or higher from being destroyed, as far as and negating effects as well. And then Magician's Defense. If I have a spellcaster on the field, any damage that I take is cut in half. And if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, I get to special summon one spellcaster from my graveyard, and that's my traps. Pretty good, at least I think. Now we're gonna go over the extra deck, which is the fusion monsters that aren't a part of the deck, and they're their own being of some sort. So we'll talk about Dark Paladin, first fusion monster on the field. You need Buster Blader and Dark Magician to fuse to summon him. With the attack power of 2,900 and defense of 24, he's a pretty good powerhouse. You can discard one card to negate the activation of a spell card, and if you do that, it's destroyed. And you can he also gains 500 attack points for every dragon in the graveyard or on the field. So with the retention of Buster Blader's effect, makes him a pretty good powerhouse. Next, I'm going to go over all three of these cards together. Dark Magician Girl the Dragon Knight, Amulet Dragon, and Dark Magician the Dragon Knight. The reason I'm going over these three together is for the fact that they require the Eye of Times. So with Dark Magician Girl, of course, Dark Magician Girl, Eye of Timaeus. That's the only way you're going to be able to fuse and summon once per turn during either player's turn. You can send one card from your hand to the graveyard and target one face-up card on the field, destroy that target. It's a pretty good effect. With Amulet Dragon, that's pretty much Dark Magician and Eye of Timaeus. discard special summon, target any number of spell cards from the graveyard. Minimum one, the minimum is one at least, and you can banish those targets. And if you do, the spell card gains 100 attack points for each banished by this effect. And if this card is destroyed, you can target one spellcaster in your graveyard and special summon that target. So, you know, automatically free spellcaster summon. You can't really go wrong with that. And of course, Dark Magician's Dragon Knight. So with him, he automatically becomes Dark Magician on the field and on the graveyard. Bam, right there. He can use Dark Magician cards to help give him whatever boost that he needs. Your opponent can't target spell or trap cards you control with card effects. Also, they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So, with that being said, he pretty much protects whatever trap cards you have. It's good for like Eternal Soul or anything continuous like Magical Defense, so on and so forth. Three are really good to have for any deck. Next, we got Dark Cavalry, which is the new Dark Magician fusion, and Quintet Magician. Now, I'm gonna go over the Dark Magician fusion, Dark Cavalry, a little bit. One warrior. So if you even have any, like, just say, let's throw this out there, Obnoxious Celtic Guardian. Bam, you can automatically fuse it with it. Gains, it's got piercing. So if your opponent's in defense, you can inflict piercing battle damage. He gains 100 attack points for every spell or trap card on the field and in the graveyard. And when a card or effect is activated that targets a card on the field, I can discard one card to negate it and destroy it. Quintet Magician requires 5 spellcaster monsters for fusion materials. It has a pretty good effect for it being 45 and 45 attack and defense. If fusion summon using 5 different spellcaster monsters with different names, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls. This face-up monster on the field cannot be tributed nor used as fusion material. Also, it cannot be destroyed by card effects. So right there, you got protection. You know, pretty good couple of fusions to have, and can deal as much damage as you need to. And the last card that I'm gonna be talking about is the Ebon Illusion Edition. Now, this is gonna be my first time using XE material, and for this XE material for Ebon Illusion Magician, you need 2 level 7 monsters. But it also says in its effect that you can also use level 6 spellcaster type monsters. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card, special summon one spellcaster type normal monster from your hand or deck, and when a spellcaster normal type monster declares an attack, you can target one card your opponent controls, banish it. You can also use this. You can only use this effect once per turn. So even though he has the attack and defense of a Dark Magician, his effect is no joke. And that's my deck. If you guys like this video, you want to see me do more, like maybe make a different type of deck, or maybe go over another unboxing for like booster packs or anything like that, just let me know. Again, like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Of course, I've been streaming a lot more, so you know, bear with me. Sometimes I'm streaming daily, sometimes I stream like every so often, maybe like 3-4 times a week. It all depends on what's going on at the time of my schedule, because I'm in the tail end of my semester trying to graduate. But yeah, like, if you want to see more stuff like this, just let me know. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.